Oh, f ah! Oh my God.
Hi, I'm John Caldwell, musician of 25 years and music producer. I'm here to introduce you to my personal amplifier, the GC-1 by G-Craft. It's a new class of amplifier that was the brainchild of engineer Brian Thompson and guitarist Joe Walsh. It has a voltage-starved preamp, 3-band optical compression, and a true dynamic EQ.
This is my first time checking out the GC-1 amplifier. And first time plugging into it. I'm used to playing a ton of old like Fender amps, like 60s Deluxes and Vibroluxes. And this thing is just, it's got its own thing going on. It's not trying to emulate anything in particular, I feel like. So many amps add so much like color, right? Like it's you know, you play through a Vox or you play through a Fender, you play through a Marshall. It's like, yeah, the guitar and your fingers that comes through, but it's like so like, it's kind of colored by that vibe of that amp. Whereas this thing is so much more like thoughtful in terms of like the full range, like full range as a whole.
Isn't this amp? It's just like the components of an amp and you dial in the sound you want. Let's jump into dialing in a tone. I'm playing my Dunable guitar with humbucker pickups plugged straight into the amplifier. We are miking the cabinet with a Neumann U67, an AEA R84A, going into a Neve 1084 preamp. For this amp and the amount of tonal shaping available to you, I would recommend every time you plug in to follow these steps. I would walk in and turn everything to 0 and start from there. Let's start with the sensitivity knob. The sensitivity knob is not a volume knob per se. It's controlling how much of your pickup signal is going into the voltage-starved preamp. First, you want to get some sensitivity. I would recommend turning it up to about noon. Then you want some volume. I would start at somewhere between 3 and 4. And from there, what you want to do is get your treble where you would like it to be. If you're happy with that and you have the high-end sparkle that you're looking for, I would then go and start to dial in your lows. Once I've reached this point, then I would dial in my mids to taste. Lastly, I like to add compression to taste. I find that I like to control the boomy lows with a bit more compression, and I like to leave my highs and mids a bit more open. The magic of this amplifier is that your bass, mid, and treble are actually 3 separate bands. As you turn the dial, you are sending gain to each one of them separately. This is how you retain clarity through the frequency spectrum. Other amplifiers that have a passive EQ, as you turn up your bass, you eventually start to swallow your highs, losing that sparkle. With this amplifier, that is no longer an issue. After EQ and compression, the 3 bands are resummed, and you have a switch with an optional overdrive. I wouldn't look at this as a typical overdrive. I would look at this more as you have regular dynamic mode and high dynamic mode, where there's a lot more attack. So let's switch it into overdrive now.
right, so I'm gonna investigate this overdrive switch that I've kind of been messing around with, turning it on and off. I'm not the most technical person, so I'm not gonna attempt to describe it, but it just adds a lot more of that top end snap. I'll just do the same thing again so you can hear. Woo! That's lovely.
After the summing and overdrive section, we have the amplification section. We have your output volume and 3 KT88 tubes that go out to a 70 ohm high impedance speaker. What that means to you is 0 latency and a fuller spectrum of sound.
Yeah, what you said about the latency thing. I mean, I'm so used to like old amps that have sag, right? You know, and it's like that is definitely something that's like felt immediately in how responsive it is. And it's very pedal friendly. So, and it is such a blank canvas that I think that if you wanted to add that flair, that character, you know, pedals have gotten so good now that you can add a really good spring reverb or add a really good tremolo or add a really thick, nice distortion that's more reminiscent of a cranked up twin or a cranked up Marshall. See what it sounds with a little overdrive. Pedals extremely well, and I feel like all the dynamics are still there. Even when you hit it with an overdrive, it just, all of that touch sensitivity just carries through. It really allows you as an artist to it's kind of a blank canvas of sounds to work with, and because you have all of that sensitivity and dynamics, I mean, you can really lay back and have fun with it if you want to. And
Another advantage of the GC-1 is you can turn off the amplifier section and go direct into your board and just get to use this amazing preamp and dynamic EQ.
Yeah, it's truly inspiring. The fact that you can do DI too and get that same like crystalline, perfect just responsiveness without a cabinet makes it even more versatile for when you're in the studio. With the cab, I mean, it sounds amazing. That 15-inch speaker is like, I've never heard anything like that. It's so freaking neat.
And the GC-1 does have an effects loop with send and return, so your wet effects can be where they need to be after the EQ.
It's for somebody that wants every little nuance of their playing to be picked up, like things that normally can't be caught, because I feel like with this, I mean, Because obviously, like they're playing softer or louder. Yeah, that's great, and most amps can do that. But I think there's more to it than just that. I feel like where your hand is on the guitar, like, plays a big role as well. Yeah, I'd say it's for anyone that doesn't want to sacrifice anything and just wants a fully blank canvas to express themselves with their hands, their instrument, and their creativity. I would also say the neutral nature of it and just the pure nature of it allows you to kind of be able to craft your own sounds and kind of put your own stamp on, you know, who you are sonically, which is kind of cool because it allows for the artist's personality and, you know, the guitarist personality to come through, which is like what me as a guitar player, I'm always searching for that thing, that identity, and to be able to have something that's so responsive, natural, and sensitive, and yeah, it's creatively inspiring would be a good descriptor for it, I feel like. To drag me kicking and screaming away from this thing.